This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're locking in for Saturday's games. Saturday's two NFL divisional playoff games. We have the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans at 4:30 p.m., then the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions at 8 p.m. Now, we are riding quite the win streak when it comes to player props. We went 5-1 on our player props that we dropped on this YouTube channel. 5-1 over the course of the 3 days of NFL. Also, to add, a huge thank you to every single one of you that has watched at least one of these videos and followed step number 1, which was subscribing to this YouTube channel. We officially, finally hit 5,000 subscribers, and I'm very thankful to every single person who has tapped the subscribe button and every single other person who has not and is doing it right now. Go ahead, tap it. Good. Now that everybody watching this is officially a subscriber, thank you again for helping us hit 5K. Next step is 10, and the ultimate goal is, of course, hitting 100K on this channel. We are doing a giveaway as a thank you. To be eligible for the giveaway, once the details are dropped, you have to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. You also got to be in the free Discord. Both those things are completely free to you, so you need to be doing them to get eligibility for the giveaway, and also all the other benefits that it comes with doing that. I mean, there's more benefits to joining the Discord than just being part of a giveaway, which you will see once you join. Because again, it is free. Enough of the rambling. Let's see what we can find for these games. I told everyone in our Discord before the game started this weekend, before the first game started, that I was putting a little bit on 3 of the bottom, I guess the biggest underdogs for Super Bowl bets. I said, I looked at all of the bottom of the odds because nobody really wants to bet on like a plus 120 Super Bowl favorite when there's still a lot of games to go, and any given Sunday anything can happen. So I told everyone to do a Washington Commanders Super Bowl bet, a Denver Broncos, and a Rams Super Bowl bet. All 3 of them, of course, being first-round underdogs, severely underdogged odds-wise on the sports books to win the entire thing. And I was like, I feel like this has been such a crazy season. I feel like it's going to be either a rookie quarterback winning, which of course is why I went with the Commanders and the Broncos. And then if it's not that, I was like, I'm going to go with the guy that's already won a Super Bowl and has I would probably argue, one of the best receiving tandems, not just with Tyler Higbee, who I know he got hurt last night, but Tyler Higbee, Kupp, who is always like the #1 drafted receiver in fantasy for the longest time, for a few years at least, and now he's got Puka. So I went with that. So luckily, we have 2 of them still alive. So you still have a Washington futures bet that is now cashing out higher than what you bet on it, because the odds have shifted dramatically in their favor, because they did upset the team. But again, enough of the rambling. You're here to see how to use the tool of the app that you've already downloaded on your phone, right? You already got yeah? You sure? You have this app on your phone? Cool. So you already got the app on your phone. Now you're watching this video because you're like, I want to see how the guy that created this tool for us, how he uses it. So when you, in your own time, pull up the app, you know exactly how to find winning plays. So let's go ahead and do that. We sort by difference, as we always do, and as we have done on every single show since we added this new sexy filter here. We bring this to 40 because we start with receiving yards lines, and that's the minimum we like to look for because of opportunity. A lot of people lost money last night betting on 2-2 over 10.5 yards. If you would have followed this rule, you would have not lost any money. Accuracy goes to 50. We don't like looking at things sub 50 hit rate. So this leaves us with 4 players currently for this weekend, as you see on the screen here. 1, 2, 3, and then Xavier Worthy at there at the bottom. Up at top here, this is I believe this is the highest scoring game of the day. I believe the total is about 55.5. I feel like this has a good chance to be a shootout. Sam Laporta's here. He's got 50.5 yards, which is nice for a tight end. That's on the higher end of the spectrum for tight ends. He's got a sexy accuracy. He's got the best accuracy of any other receiving person. receiver or tight end. He hit this in his last game against Minnesota, which was like 9 days ago. Wow. I was like, wait a second, is this right? And then I'm like, oh yeah, they had the bye. So he hit this in his last game in Minnesota against the 49ers. Barely missed against Chicago, but as you see here, the last 5 games, this man has been getting the rock. More people are trying to guard St. Brown, which is impossible because he's the sun god, but they still try, which opens up space for Sam Laporta. I feel like they're not going to take any stops when it comes to the playbook to make sure that they win this game. They don't want Washington making them look like fools. So I like this. But then we look to the next part. We look at the projection. The projection says 4. That's really, really close. So before I rule this out, I'll go to FanDuel, and it's getting a little sexier. It's now a 7 difference, almost 7 anyway. Let's see if we can find it lower than 47.5. Nope. FanDuel has the best line, 47.5. Typically, we look for a lot more, but I don't think we're going to find that here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to change this from DraftKings to FanDuel, and then I'm going to see if anybody else, hold on, if anybody else pops up there. Let's look at FanDuel difference. So just reset the filters again, 50 accuracy or higher, 40 line or higher. Change it to this, and it's still, I mean, technically speaking, the AI is siding with Nico under. And that was the only thing we missed the entire weekend when it comes to player props. We're not going to touch that again. Sure, there's a good chance he might go under, but no, we're not. We learned our lesson. We learned our lesson from Nico. But Sam Laporta is very interesting here. 47.5, projection 54. Everything else looks great. Last 5 is great as well. So I think this is what we're going with for this game here. Sam Laporta over 47.5 receiving yards, which again is on FanDuel. So now let me take a peek and a pop over to the team tools. Weren't as sexy as the player props over the course of the weekend. But as you see here for Saturday, both favored teams' money line is significantly overvalued, overestimated, if you will. So the minus 500 money line for Detroit, that means that they have an 83.33% chance to win. And RAI is like, hey, they're probably going to win, but the money line should be closer to giving it a 71% chance, because that's what our AI is saying is going to happen. And then we have Houston and Kansas City. Again, Kansas City has a minus 480, which gives them an 82.76 implied chance. This is not a projection. This is what the sportsbooks are telling us with this number. And then we have our AI saying Kansas City getting 69% chance. So again, both the AI is saying that the favorite teams most likely are going to win. 69%, 71% is relatively high. But it's saying that if you do not bet on this money line, because the money line is not accurate to their actual projected chance to win. So we're not going to touch any money lines here. We're just going to go over to spread, which I already know that both teams, both underdog teams are going to be favored, which is the case here. Houston plus 8.5, Washington plus 9.5. So I'm like, okay, 59%, that's relatively high for a spread predictor. But then we come down here and look to our new accuracy feature that I dropped for you guys last week. For spreads, you don't want to touch anything that's 30, and then also Washington here 30. So what is this telling you? Well, click this button. There's a whole video explaining what every single detail, every single piece of data here is going to be how it works. Just watch this video here. But a quick overview: out of the 13 games we have recorded projections for a spread for any game that is involving Houston Texans, the AI was correct 30% of the time, which means the Houston Texans are a very unpredictable team, very unpredictable. The same thing with the Washington Commanders. If they're supposed to cover the spread, they don't. If they're supposed to, on either side. So if the opponent's supposed to cover the spread, it may not happen. If they're supposed to cover the spread, it's probably not going to happen. 30% is low, so we're not going to touch this at all. It doesn't matter if this is 53 and 69. You have to pay attention to both numbers on both sides. The data on the screen, if you look at all of it, it says Houston Texans and Washington Commanders are unpredictable, which of course is why the Vegas books were incorrect over the course of the weekend, because they favored their opponents, and their opponents did not win. So then we're going to go to total, see if there's anything here that we like. Okay, so going again, looking at both sides, the accuracy. The accuracy has a 3.28 difference between the projection and what you can bet on. But Kansas City, in 13 games involving the Kansas City Chiefs, the AI got the correct side, over or under on the total, only correct 30% of the time, which means Kansas City is an unpredictable team when it comes to scoring. They had a very weird year. They're supposed to be a crazy potent offense, and they did not. I think they're the first team, and I think I saw something along the lines of the first team in NFL history to win a certain amount of games without scoring a certain amount of points. I don't know what the number of games was or the amount of points, but they had a very subpar offensive year. They just got really, really lucky in the end of the fourth quarter on a handful of games. But we scroll down here to Washington, Detroit. We have a 57% accuracy and a 53%. Both those are over 50. That's what I like to see. The AI has a 2.92 difference. Not as good as a 3.28, but more things make sense here. 55.5 is the line on FanDuel, 58 is projection. So, of course, the AI says projected side, go over 55.5. So now what do? We know we're going to go over 55.5, but we're going to go to the odds comparison to see, is there a better line on a different book? So we have, what's this, money line? We're going to go to spread. Oh, sorry, no, total is what we're looking at. And if you are going over, there are 4 books that we have built in that are currently available at 55.5 and a minus 105 odd. So even though you see Caesars here has 55.5 and Bet River says 55.5, if you bet over on either of those books, you actually get paid less if you win than if you bet on the ones that are highlighted green. That sexy green highlight is to tell you this is the best possible option if you're going to be betting on this. So looks like everybody's tied there. Nothing too different. 55.5 across the board. But yeah, I think that's what we're going for the team stuff. Detroit, Washington over 55.5. And then also Sam Laporta over 47.5 receiving yards. It's 47.5, right? Let me triple check that real quick. Yep. Over 47.5 receiving yards. And they actually go hand in hand. So there's some correlation there. If Sam Laporta goes off, chances are Detroit scores a lot of points. Hopefully that Washington scores points as well. Covers a 55.5 spread or total. So locked it in, guys, for the first day of Divisional. And then check back on this YouTube channel in 24 hours, or depending on when you watch this, immediately, to see the video for the Sunday games. So we're going to be dropping today. We're dropping Saturday Divisional. Tomorrow, Sunday Divisional. And then on Thursday, we're dropping College Football Final. And that's going to have a lot of fun stuff in there as well. So, thank you again for helping us get to 5,000 subscribers. If you haven't yet, smash that button and get in the Discord for details about the giveaway. Good luck, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time.